So I'm going to talk about an important topic. It's about cryptocurrency safety. How many of you invest in cryptocurrency and plan to profit from that investment? All right, so it's relevant to all of you. Okay, so what is actually the best type of wallet for long-term crypto investment? This is a question I've been thinking about for the past 11 years since I've been in crypto. And how should you choose it? So this photo is a typical hardware wallet that's very highly rated and very secure. I assume that many of you recognize it and might even use it yourself. I certainly have one as well, right? Yes? However, when you use this kind of hardware wallet, this photo is not the full picture. The full picture is actually a lot more complicated and has a lot more moving parts. Specifically, I'm referring to the backup recovery seed phrases, the need to upgrade and patch the firmware. How do you back up and store those recovery seed phrases? Do you write it down? Is it stained? Do you have good handwriting? So there are a lot of complexities involved in setting up a traditional electronic hardware wallet. And many of you who raised your hand earlier have actually navigated through that process successfully. However, for every one of you who have done it properly, there's probably 100 or even 1,000 people out there who's not able to follow along. I personally don't think this is the ultimate solution for the 7 or 8 billion people on this planet. Maybe for 1 million, 10 million, yes, but certainly not for 1 billion people. They are the market leader, but I doubt they'll get to 1 billion people actually using this wallet safely. In my own experience, most of these wallets are gifted or bought and they just stay in the drawer unopened, or maybe someone opens it and realizes it's too difficult to set up. My mom, who's here by the way, Litecoin grandma, I don't think she's ever going to be able to set up something as complicated as this. So 3 years ago, started a company called Ballet. And in fact, in the US 3 years ago at the Litecoin conference, we debuted our product. And for the last 3 years, it's been very successful. I'm proud to say that no one globally has ever lost money using the Ballet Wallet. It's never been hacked. The funds have never been swept. And it's very easy to use with no setup. But more importantly, I'm here to tell you about the comprehensive crypto security model that underpins the Ballet Wallet's model. And there are 9 dimensions to this wallet design I want to share with you. It's only now, 3 years later, that we've finally distilled the concepts, the philosophy of Ballet's secure wallet design into these slides. And I'm sharing it with you guys at the Litecoin Summit for the first time globally. So world's first presentation on these topics. Okay, number 1, the first philosophy is self-custody, and this is the most important. The whole point of a wallet is we want customers to be able to self-custody their own crypto. Is that right? Self-custody is the name of cryptocurrency, and we want that. We give you full, exclusive custody of your own cryptocurrency. Not your keys, not your coin. You can be your own bank, and this is a 100% self-custody wallet, Ballet. Number 2 is we give you cold storage. Not warm storage, certainly not hot storage. It means your funds are always 100% offline cold storage. This is the best type of storage for long-term investing. This is actually not suitable for daily transactions, but for those of you who have funds for long-term investing, this is the best model, cold storage, okay? No moving parts, no electronics, longevity, durability. It's an open industry standard, BIP 38. And best of all, there's no risky firmware updates with this kind of cold storage. Number 3 is the whole wallet experience. It's a human-centered design. We use intuitive principles that are familiar with humans years and years. For example, humans actually have a very tough time safeguarding electronic data. The whole notion of electronic data is only decades in the making since the invention and advent of computing. But however, our ability to safekeep something physical, we've had that ability for thousands of years. Generations and generations of human beings, all the way back to the caveman days, we know how to safeguard and safekeep physical goods. It's much easier to lose track of electronic information than it is to lose something physically precious. So our human-centered design approach, everything's visual-based. There's no SMS verification. More importantly, we know that human memory is fallible, right? Do you all agree? Anyone have perfect memory here? I certainly don't. And as I age, I've realized that more and more so. We start forgetting passwords. We start forgetting PIN codes. Especially the very secret passwords, you're actually more likely to forget. And if you try to write it down, then it defeats the whole purpose of having a passcode and be memorized. So that's why this wallet was created from day one to not rely on human memory. It is a physical bearer asset with no external dependencies. That means, God forbid, knock on wood, if something happens to you, whether it's a boating accident or some plane crash, you will never be able to take your coins to the grave with you. Because you don't want that. If you have long-term investment, you want your coins to be available to your spouse, to your children and grandchildren if something were to happen to you. And with Ballet, this is the easiest way for inheritance and estate planning. So it actually allows for engagement of people of all ages, from children to adults to aging parents and grandparents. Okay? So more crypto is actually lost and stolen, is actually lost by self-user errors than actually truly stolen and hacked. So we ignore all the hypothetical edge cases where wallet makers try to make something so secure in some electronic computer chip that's supposed to be hack-proof. There's no such thing as hack-proof. Because if it were so secure, why do they want you to keep updating their firmware for the wallets? Right? Who's gone through a firmware update process? Yeah, it's like an open heart surgery. All right. And then, of course, we want both convenience and simplicity. We avoid unforced user errors. We avoid loss of funds through better simplicity. Okay, smarter, simpler wallet design, avoiding misuse, and it's efficient, easy, and seamless. What we want is a solution that has no cables, no batteries, no wireless or Bluetooth, no electronics, no firmware, no pairing whatsoever. And this way, you have something that's purely physical, non-electronics based. It's based on visual. So as long as you have eyes, even if you lose your eyesight, magnifying glass, or have a trusted person who can read it to you, you can retrieve your assets years later, whether it's 10 years or 20 years. In fact, our wallet is probably the industry's only wallet that has a designed lifespan of 20 years. Think about that. Which wallet do you use today, software or hardware, that you can safely say you can retrieve funds from it in 20 years? I doubt you can say yes to that for any of your existing wallets. But for Ballet, I have confidence 20 years later you can retrieve funds from a Ballet wallet, whether it's kept in a closet, in a safe deposit box, or even in a time capsule buried underground. All right, number 5, we want transactional freedom. What that means is to give you the ability to transfer your money, your crypto, anytime, anywhere, in whatever amount you want, because in the end, you are the true and only owner of that crypto. There's no intermediary. We, Ballet, do not serve as a custodian. It's a self-custody, unhosted wallet. You have full transaction freedom with it. We give you financial privacy, also personal privacy. None of your transactions are tracked. No IP addresses are recorded. There's no registration. There's no username. There's no real name KYC authentication. You use it no different than you buying a leather wallet from a department store and put cash in it. They don't track where you put, how you spend the money, how much you make. They don't track any of that. Same thing with Ballet's philosophy. And it's a digital, so not only is cryptocurrency a digital bearer asset, we've turned cryptocurrency into a physical bearer asset. And by the way, for those of you who are here at the conference, you have all received a Ballet Litecoin wallet in your gifty bag, the blue one you have there, okay? So there's a special Litecoin Summit edition of that. So I talked about personal privacy as well. So there's no electronic footprint. We don't, everything is on-chain, anonymous on-chain. So there's no analytics that people can perform any more than what's already publicly on the blockchain. Okay, so we don't allow for and we don't condone electronic surveillance. This way you maintain your financial privacy, and it's just like gold and physical cash. Think of it that way. Okay, this is I think we think that personal privacy, financial privacy, is a fundamental human right. Number 7, strength and durability. So people call this a fancy paper wallet. In some sense, it is. However, it's made of stainless steel. It's the size of a credit card, but it's really hefty. Okay, so it's really built for longevity, long-lasting design. Like I said, 20 years of design life, and it's the best aspects of the real world in terms of coinage and so on. The reason coins last longer than paper money is because coins are made of metal. And for that same reason, we've chosen to make our Ballet wallets out of stainless steel. Okay? And there are no electronic components because electronic components, by definition, are actually fragile. We change phones every 3 to 4 years. We change computers every 5 to 7 years. And the reality is our old devices, you should look up your old electronic devices from even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Most likely they won't turn on. I've had an old iPhone go bust on me where the battery exploded. I mean, not exploded, but it just sort of popped up. And it's very hard to revive a dead piece of electronic. So our devices have no electronics, so that way you avoid all sort of data degradation, what they call bit rot. You avoid all the EMP type of risks, solar flares, nuclear bombs going off, EMP, and all that stuff. I know it's a little bit out there, but the idea of non-electronic design lasting a lifetime is truly worth thinking about. And number 8, we also care about elegance and style. The reason is that if you're going to keep something for long term, you don't want it to be thrown out by accident. When people discover a gold coin or a gold bar in a drawer or underground in a time capsule, they're not going to throw it away because it's shiny, it's pretty. For the same reason, Ballet wallets are designed with elegance and style. It's a minimalist design, it's a timeless design. If you ever come across it in someone's drawer, in someone's safe, or in your grandma's estate, you will know that this is something valuable. And there's a QR code right on it, and you can scan it and check the value of it. So there's very little risk of it being tossed out. We've all heard of stories where people have thrown out millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin in a hard drive that was just lying around. There's a very famous story where a girlfriend threw out her boyfriend's hard drive, and it's in a dumpster somewhere in England, and he's going to spend millions of dollars trying to recover that. Right? With Ballet, it's never going to happen, so it's apparently very stylish and it holds high value. And finally, number 9, we base our wallet on open industry standards. Because even though I have a lot of confidence in Ballet, the reality is, as with any company, you just don't know whether the company can last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or 100 years. So we designed this from the get-go. Even if one day Ballet were to shut down and go bankrupt and close, your wallets are safe because the money in there is protected by industry standards, open industry standards that don't rely on my company to provide you with the keys to unlock your cryptocurrency. And this is the BIP 38 standard that's been around for 10 years now. Next month in November, BIP 38 is celebrating the 10-year anniversary. It's an open standard on the Bitcoin originally, and we've enhanced it to provide multi-currency support. Ballet wallets, including the one you have, the Litecoin wallet you're getting for free, can support over 200 different kinds of coins and NFTs. So pretty much all the coins you can think of, Ballet Wallet can hold it all at the same time on a single wallet. We use a 2-factor key generation method so that the private key entropy is created and maintained, created and produced on 2 different continents in 2 different countries. And of course, Ballet doesn't retain any of that information so that you feel safe that these wallets, for the private keys, you will generate it yourself the first time you use it by combining the two pieces. Think of it as two chemicals where you mix it together that generates a private key. These two chemicals are created in two different facilities that Ballet makes, and each wallet is unique with a lot of random entropy that through a patented technology creation process. So the standard is BIP38, and we have an implementation of it that's available on GitHub, open source. You can download it yourself. We also, of course, provide the software app, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But the key point is that Ballet does not use a proprietary standard. And from the get-go, I would never start this company if we did something that could potentially lock up your funds where you don't have access to it yourself. So it is very important to me, and probably very important to you, that you always maintain and retain full access to your cryptocurrency through open, non-proprietary standards. All right, so Ballet, what we're doing is we're trying to pursue the ideal balance between convenience and security. And these are the 9 pillars of our philosophy, from self-custody, cold storage, human-centered design, transactional freedom, personal privacy, open industry standards, elegance and style, strength and durability, and convenience and simplicity. So in summary, this is the image here shows a Bitcoin one, but they're all functionally identical. They also store multiple currencies. So in summary, the best-selling feature aspect of Ballet wallets is that it requires 0 setup. So you buy it, there's no convoluted setup process. You could use it instantly. The QR code has a deposit address. The Bitcoin variety would have a Bitcoin deposit address. In my hand, I have a Litecoin one. That's the ones you have in your gift bag. It has a Litecoin deposit address, and you could immediately load some coins onto there, and then you could give it away as a gift or store it in your safe for long safekeeping. It is safe, cold storage, offline, 100%. And sorry about the text formatting. And finally, it's giftable because it is a physical bearer asset. This means that once you give it to someone else, the receiver will have full exclusive control of the cryptocurrency. I use it to give it away as birthday gifts. I recently attended a wedding. I gave it as a wedding present. You can give it to your children for Christmas, even as a tooth fairy gift, right? So you can think of all these great ideas how to use Ballet as a gift. And for the kids out there, you can ask your parents and grandparents for a cryptocurrency for your birthday and upcoming holidays. And then I talked about the app. We have a companion app that's on the App Store, both on Apple, iTunes App Store, as well as on Google Play. And you can also download the Android version. We also have a desktop version. It comes on Windows, Linux, and also for the Mac computer, Mac OS. The app is a tool. It allows you to look at the balances of your wallet, but in the end, the app itself does not store the credentials. So even if your device gets hacked, your app gets deleted, when you change phones, you upgrade, you will never lose your coins because the coins are always on the physical device itself. Okay, this is the model. It's a physical device wallet. All right, I encourage you to all try it out. It should be a lot of fun. Okay, thank you very much. So we have a booth out in the exhibitor section. Come by. We have a special conference edition, also the gold version of the wallet, and I'm giving away signed copies of my book if you guys would like. Okay? Great.